Boys, is that you?
Yes? Why?
Okay, that explains. Over the course of recording a single intro, this appeared. And I'm like, who on earth could conjure this in under 5 minutes? And okay, like maybe it was like 10, but geez, what on how? Hey yo, it's Lyarrah, and today you join me back over here on Create SMP, where I've managed to get a hold of a fortune pickaxe. I don't want to talk about how many I had to roll before I finally got fortune. I have definitely handed off silk-touch pickaxes to multiple other members of the server, because I just couldn't bear to, rhinestone off something that had the E4 and Unbreaking 3 and silk touch, which is how come I wound up with an E5 one for myself. But way down at the bottom of this mine shaft, there is an 800 block long tunnel that I put through with my giant drill. And along the edges of that was plenty of diamonds that I've gone ahead and harvested up. So now we've got well over a stack. These are going to come in handy. Well, originally I was going to say for drawer upgrades, but now that we have a source of emeralds, those are better than the diamond ones for whatever reason. So I don't need to waste diamonds on that. What I do want to waste some diamonds on is actually getting better armor so that I can, do this and not take half my health in the process. I like being reckless. I like being able to just jump off of things. I did not bring you here just to brag about diamonds or to make you watch me enchant some armor, even though, I really need to get that done. No, first of all, I brought you here to thank you for your wonderful response to the build last week. You were all so kind about it, and I'm so glad because this has turned out way better than I ever expected. And especially to say thank you for the people who pointed out that this was definitely way too cramped of a space to try to stick a hot cocoa machine into. I've unfortunately run into an even bigger roadblock than that. There is not a single jungle biome in bounds as far as we can tell so far, so we don't have a source of cocoa beans unless a wandering trader decides that he's going to cough them up. What I am still going to do is I'm going to set up just like a cute little kiosk counter thing in here to prepare drinks with the ingredients, so it'll just be like a mixer ready to go. We can take the power in through the side here and such. And I'm going to go ahead and make upgrades such as that, such as actually building the restaurant in here, and such as adding the cobblestone generator to the terracotta farm. And maybe I can create a switch to, no, I was thinking that maybe I could create some kind of switch that would let me turn it back and forth to a brick farm, but I'm going to be real, the villagers are so much faster for me personally right now, and I think that we're not going to use brick for much for at least the next 1 or 2 builds. Boys, is that you?
Yes? Why?
Okay, that explains. Over the course of recording a single intro, this appeared. And I'm like, who on earth could conjure this in under 5 minutes? And okay, like maybe it was like 10, but geez, what on how?
Wands? Building
What?
wands. We have building wands in the mod pack.
Oh.
And you made an infinite limestone generator, so
yeah, it's kind of an obvious tile.
Look, this is just the inner structure. I'm gonna make it look pretty, I promise.
Okay, I'll trust you. But I'm still wondering, what is this big? Like, what on earth?
Long story short, central heating.
Lava tank?
Lava tank.
Okay. Alright. I kind of now wish that I hadn't covered over the ravine that was over here, because you could have just, filled that up with it instead, but...
There's a ravine under here?!
Yes! There's a ravine under here! Like, directly
I'd be more
underneath the
upset, but again, I only been building for like 10 minutes, so... it's actually not that big of a deal.
Oh, alright. Well, I will leave you to blotting out the sun then, and I look forward to seeing how this evolves.
Low XP has died in the lava.
Building wands, jeez. Alright, I am solving a minor crisis at the moment. You see, I was AFKing out at the mob farm, and when I went down to check how much stuff had come through, well, I'll just, let me just show you. Yeah, stuff piled up like crazy. You know why? Because these are sorely in need of a couple of, you know, I'll give one to the string too, and you know what? No, we're gonna give a third one to each of those just for good measure. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. Trying to just check these. Yeah, 3 on that one, 2 on that one, or 3 on that one, 2 on that one, and let's put 1 on the bones, and let's scurry around here and at least save the bones. I don't care about anything else really. Oh, the arrows also need. There we go. I think I'm just gonna have to like pop this out for a moment, replace that with a slab, and start like double clicking this sucker, get my inventory. Yes, that's working. Okay. Double clicking that gets everything out of my inventory that is something in there. So now we can just put a slab there instead. And that way it's still accessible. So if it ever backs up like that again, we can just do that. I'm just gonna chill here for another half hour or so. And I guess we should probably, what are the void ones made of? Obsidian. I think I have obsidian. Not a ton of it, but enough to make 2 void upgrades, certainly. Okay, there we go. So rather than wasting all these upgrades on here, we're just gonna do that, and same on the rotten flesh. We'll leave it with 2 still, just in case we get some clerics or something. But for right now, I'm gonna hold on to more of these. Maybe I should get some more obsidian. Anyway, back to the AFK platform I go. All right, so we did finish decorating. Up in here, look how adorable this turned out. I know it's very, very simple. It's just normal seats and pistons that are extended from below, but it's what would let me put cake on top of it, okay? And I know I previously said that unfortunately we didn't have a source of cocoa beans, but it seems that JC lucked into some. And so we actually, like, I'm excited about the hot cocoa, but I'm more excited about the brown terracotta and like brown glass and everything else that we didn't have access to before. So what I may wind up doing is installing a little cocoa bean farm kind of over here in this corner that's not being used. For right now though, we're just pulling one of these as high as I can reach just to get them growing and get a few more going. I do have a fortune pick, so that'll help out. And we'll put the rest away for right now. We do also, at long last, have a cobblestone generator, or rather a stone generator, but it all turns into cobble after it's been drilled out anyway, for the terracotta farm. So just the same as that design I used for the limestone farm, except since this was, you know, 2 water source blocks, it turned into multiple. Yeah, it is what it is. I guess over here might be the better place to put the cocoa bean farm. I mean, I get why I would put it in there. It's a sweets place, but this probably has more leftover power from its boiler than that does. And since I want to use it to dye the terracotta anyway, hello, where did you come from? And yeah, we're definitely going to want to think about other dye farms as well. We're going to go ahead and upgrade this. Oh, this is gonna drop. Oh no, it didn't. Okay, there we go. We're upgrading that to one of those. That's going to have the flint in it. We're going to lock that up. And then we're going to go ahead and make another one of those void upgrades, because we will never need more than 2,000 flint. And no, the cute flint blocks aren't in this game. I've checked. Wasting all of my obsidian, I swear. Now, hopefully these aren't secretly laggy and I'm not causing issues by doing this. Please tell me if that is the case, but that should hopefully help. I may actually need to slow this down a bit. Yeah, I think I actually need to slow down my drills. Huh, things having a hard time keeping up. No, I think it's exactly keeping up now that the flint isn't backing it up anymore. Okay, I will leave it be for right now, but we're going to check up on this periodically and make sure we don't need to turn that down. And actually, it sounds like I'm going to need to use a couple more of these emerald upgrades right away because, Yeah, Soy has been filling that thing with lava, so he's had this area loaded long enough that this is now up to over 200,000 limestone. It fortunately is not using all of this yet, but I feel like I'm going to just fill that the whole way, you know, and we'll find some place for this dinky little diamond one. There we go, just in case we get that many cakes somehow. Speaking of this limestone overload though, I have been informed that one of the things that you can do with limestone is crush it down into copper nuggets and occasionally sand. So since we do have this much of it, I may divert like half of that, or just, you know, leave this as our limestone store and divert this into a new thing to grind it into copper, hopefully. Yeah, I could just pick this up and move it over, and yeah, we could scoot the blendy boy over to here, and that would leave room for a crushing wheel right here. We can totally do that. Oh yeah, so I found some Steve heads in a random village, so I'm just gonna leave a couple of them around in Zoe's places to, I don't know, hopefully make him a little uncomfortable just for the lulz. That is a lot of water wheels. What is he doing that needs that many water wheels? Haven't the foggiest. Ah, it was lava related. Okay, why is there a cow up here? Anyway, this feels like another good place to leave one of these, and we'll pack the other two away for some other time. Gotta harvest up the cocoa beans. So slight change of plans. I have realized that actually I can just empty honey bottles straight into the basin there without having to go through the honey block and melty boy middle step of it. So therefore I've kidnapped my blaze burner and the mixer, and we're gonna bring them over here. We're gonna run over and grab some more dark oak wood first though, is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put the blaze there and a stair there so we can still see him. Basin over that. Mixer over that. Gearbox. Rotate you that way. You there. And it is not rotating with enough speed. Boo. Alright, let's see what I can do in terms of... Let's get that brass casing back out. Speeding this up. Let's see what we can do in terms of speeding this up safely and compactly. Honestly, this should be enough, I imagine, if I can get the cogs pointed the right way. Put it through the wall up there instead. Brass casing to cover the hole in the wall. Put this up here instead, and there we go. Now it's spinning fast enough, and that should mean that we can make whatever drinks we want in this. I guess maybe we'll get like a smoker and a cutting board in here, along with some kind of storage in the corner for us to actually put like a whole bunch of buckets of milk and the cocoa beans and stuff like that into. Also just going to put that lamp up on the ceiling. All right, so we may or may not have gotten way off base here. You know how I'd been growing the cocoa beans manually here temporarily, and I said I wanted them for the drinks upstairs. Well, in the process of, hey, how do I harvest cocoa beans? We apparently now are going to be setting up a little like dye factory, dye shop type of thing. We're going to be growing and harvesting cocoa beans automatically. We're going to be doing the same with sugar cane. And then I'm going to have each of the tall flowers, which right now I only have 3 of, and I got to figure out if I want to put the 4th spot or just assume that there's no way we've got any sunflowers anywhere on the map and just not worry about it. But when you put the flowers through the big old grindstones, they actually, instead of just giving you like the 2 pieces of dye, give you all of the dye and the chance for even more. And then if I do the roses, not that I can spell, same deal there. We get green dye out of that one. So that means that I'm gonna have a little spot set up here where you can go ahead and just bone meal them. I'm not gonna worry about having it all automated with dispensers or anything. I will have a ton of bones on store grabbed from the mob farm. And then at the back here, I'm going to have a couple big crusher wheels with storage down below to sort out the different colors of dye. and that's going to mean that we can also bring like our lapis over here to crush it, etc. Obviously, this does not leave us with any options for black dye. That is the one thing we're missing. Actually, how do we make black dye in this? What are our other options? Wither rose is obviously coal and charcoal. All right, we can just crush charcoal in this. All right, well, yeah, this is just gonna be every single kind of dye. I probably should have put it next to the terracotta farm then, because that's kind of what's gonna be needed with the most frequently, I'm sure, but it just looked cuter over here. And it's gonna be just this nice, cute little shop. It's gonna be perfect for us to put a road up in between here. I'm gonna be able to fit some other small shop behind it, which might just be a precision mechanism thing. Like it may be built to do precision mechanisms and similar mechanisms and nothing but, because I feel like this is about the right, you know, footprint area for it. I just realized I gotta be careful with how I do this roof because I don't want to completely block all the view out. I mean, like, it's gonna be no big deal because it's a factory, it doesn't need to see, but it'd be nice for the restaurant to have a little bit of a view still. Anyway, I just wanted to update you. We're gonna go ahead and get this cocoa bean farm going and I will be back. Check it out, peeps. JC came through and had a sunflower. But also more importantly, I did go ahead and get the basics set up in here. We have the simplest but silliest way to power the crushing wheels, which is that's just a water wheel behind each of them and a single water source down the middle. So it turns them the correct direction. We have our flowers over here, which I am going to get some bone meal put into these crates right here. Yes, these are barrels. Look how cute they are. Look how cute my storage is, how integrated my storage is into the place. And we have this very noisy contraption over here, which I am still debating how I feel about. It's simple, it works, I can upgrade it so it automatically drops stuff off over here if I want to, but it's noisy and it has a small chance of getting stuck if one of these grows while it's on the backswing, which mind you, I could fix just by putting a pair of the harvesters on the other side of it so that it would catch those, but the point still stands. What I wanted very much was for this to use a gantry. And what that does is this pole here with this gear contraption on it that goes back and forth along here. When it's powered, it goes one direction. When it's not powered, it goes the other direction. It, in this case, being a gear shift, by the way. That is how I am reversing the direction of this. The clutch would turn it on and off entirely. A gear shift controls which direction it goes in. But try as I might, I could not figure out a good way to get it to automatically start again within the compact area that I had. Okay, so I have in front of us the schematics provided to me by Zagov. It's, well, super simple at the end of the day. The only question is where I'm actually putting this, which I guess the answer is under the floor or maybe in the ceiling. This is the clock. This can go anywhere that's in range, but it is the clock. He said that the timings were incorporated into it, and I'm sure that if I were to actually, you know, explode the cannon, then I would, but I don't feel like using... Wait a second, I could put just these into the cannon and yeah, I could do that. Because I mean, obviously I can't assemble the whole thing with the cannon because it's requiring the creative motors for this version of it. But I think if I put just, what are these? What are these? Sorry, I'm very new to using the schematic stuff, so I'm very confused. Okay, so I think I understand how we're working this. So we've got the schematic cannon. I've put the schematic for this in here. I am going to put this clipboard in here and print a checklist. Now the only parts of this that I actually really care about, because they're the part that I need to actually check, is these pulse extenders and repeaters, which it says there should be 4 things to that effect, I thought. But there's definitely 4 of them. Okay, so there's 3 of the repeaters and 1 of the extenders from the looks of it. All right. So we're gonna make those in the redstone links. Unpopular opinion, I'm sure, but redstone links are way too cheap. All right, now hopefully, if I go ahead and hit play, Get missing blocks. Don't replace solid blocks. That should do it, hopefully. Ah, that's its problem. It couldn't do the last one because this was in the way. Alright, well, there we go. We'll pick this all back up and give this another go. There we go. I feel like all this maybe could have been done with a picture, but now we have our timings and everything on here. Okay, so 40 seconds, 17 seconds, 40. All right, I should be able to mimic that well enough somewhere. Let's go ahead and get some gantries made. Okay, so we have the mechanism mostly together. I do need to make sure that I stop this not actually at the front, but one before the front, so that it doesn't have a chance to break through the walls. Because when the gantry gets to each end of the shaft, it actually turns into real blocks for a moment. And for right now, we just have a lever to demonstrate, but oh, I forgot to glue it. There we go, that should do it. Okay, harvest, 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 harvest. End. I guess we'll be going down to 3 rows of this as well, but that's fine because we can make it taller. Plus now it's symmetrical, now there's 3 rows of both and I don't feel awkward about it. Hey! Truth to tell though, there's an optical illusion going on here where it actually looks like this takes up less space anyway. So I feel like yeah, we're gonna extend this way a bit. Alright, there we go. Massive cocoa bean wall. Little sugarcane farm, but I think that it's satisfactory. Let that get brought back to the other end here. So now we just gotta hook up the redstone link and the timer. And oh, and that's even automatically going. I need to hook up something underneath it storage-wise. Mind you, since I am automatically changing the cocoa beans straight over into brown dye out of here, this does mean that I'm just gonna have to hoard up a whole bunch of cocoa beans ahead of time. I mean, I can change it anytime, obviously, but you know, just I feel like 3 or 4 stacks of cocoa beans will be enough hot cocoa for a while. Okay, since this is all set up other than me needing to figure out where I'm putting the clock, I have decided that I'm filling in the storage system over here. Which I do need to make one more emerald upgrade to make sure that these will actually have enough room for everything, but I figured that we'll put the sugar and the cocoa as big ones since they're being automatically done and everything else is going to be self-ground. Speaking of which, I guess I should go ahead and put a chest up here. Hang on, is there a cuter chest we can make this chest into? No, at least not with the carpenters. Maybe with the botany? No. I'm sad. But we're gonna put that up there so that I can plonk the flowers up into it instead of having to put them in there manually. So we're gonna make up the cyan and the lime. And that fills in all of our slots very nicely. So we've got, in place of the brown, we've got bone meal, so that we can use that directly for this, and then the sugar is on the other side here, so that fills up all the slots very nicely. So I think that's time to go ahead and lock every single one of these. Now obviously blue colors and black colors you still have to bring your own in. You need to bring lapis or you need to bring coal, but that can be ground down here, and all of the other colors are gettable in-house. So next we're figuring out where we're putting this whole clock. I think we can put a nice little basement right over here and just hide it underneath here that way. We gotta be real careful because there's kind of, you know, a lack of floor down here. But we've got the space anyway, we might as well use it. Alright, so we gotta break that. Put this on there instead, and we're gonna label this with cocoa bean and sugar because it does make sense to do. We need to put this on receive mode and pick up my redstone and take it into the basement with us. Okay, so these were all set at a leisurely 40 seconds, if I remember correctly. And this one was set at 17 seconds. Should be the one going into the link itself. We've got our cocoa and our sugar on there too. And I should just be able to flick a lever, I guess for a little longer than that maybe. Well, we'll see if that turns it on. And in the meantime, I'll replace these blocks in the wall with more of the blue. By the way, the only thing I'm worried about this blue terracotta is that I have no idea what I'm going to accent it with. Like, what do I use as a block that makes this place look dirty? Oh. It clicked for a moment. It was like it tried to do something and didn't get to. Oh. I never changed this to 17 seconds. Alright, let's try that again. I'm gonna bring these all down to 20. And we stand here and wait again. Hey, it's moving! Hey. Okay, so I wanted to come back more frequently than that. So we're gonna adjust some timings on this definitely, but I like so far. Do your job thing. Yay, it's working! Now all I have to do is put a rest of a building on it, but I'm trying to decide which building I actually want to put one on today in general. This thing is, I'd said I wanted to do the terracotta farm. By the way, in the end, I did decide to slow this down because every time I came over here, there was some flint that had managed to blow past this. And it was just because there wasn't enough room on, yeah, see how that managed to grab into the other one? Sometimes it would just blow right past because there was no empty slots for it to connect to. So it has not backed up ever since, and I have made significantly more terracotta in the last like 2 hours than it had in the last 2 days as a result. Okay, so I've been working on variations of this for a bit. I had it all in mangrove, but I'm just finishing up switching it to dark oak. I have a feeling I'm gonna like that better. It just did not feel like it had enough contrast with the mangrove. Like, yes, the mangrove's a very different color, but it's actually a very similar value. If you put this into grayscale, there'd be very little contrast between these two colors. And I think that's why this is working a little bit better over here. I want to use mangrove so bad, and the game just keeps making it so hard to use it. What I'm a little undecided on is if I'm sticking with this as it is, where it's all dark oak the whole way through, or I'm going to switch out these, which are some of the framed blocks. Basically, you put these empty frames here, and then you can apply whatever texture you want to them, which I thought was cheaty at first, but then I found out consumes the whole block for that 1/4 of it. So no, I'm content with it. But yeah, I think the contrast is just a lot better now. Can I still get away with the mangrove doors? Where did I put the hello? Oh, right, they're in my backpack. Maybe. I think I need some of those 3 high doors is what I need. Do we have those in this pack? No, that was a different mod pack that had that. Okay. Listen, I've played too many Create mod packs lately. Western doors, hello? I didn't know we had that as an option. I think it can pull off the mangrove doors like that, actually, yeah. Well, let's get a roof on this sucker then, shall we? Because right now it's just the facade. Right now it ends very rapidly. Now, I know deep slate tiles is about the most basic kind of a roof that you could possibly do these days. Everybody loves to use this as shingles, but it's used popularly for a good reason. It's looking like I'm going to come up a little over a row short here, and I think I'm not even going to go make more of these deep slate tiles. I think I'm just going to figure out what I'm texturing this with. Texture one side of it, and I should have enough to cover the other side by the time I get over there to texture it. Alright, what else has tiles that I would like? Blackstone's not a bad option, actually. Yeah, I think it's pretty much blackstone, and then is there anything else deep slate wise that I think would look good? We need stairs. In fact, let me go back and just see what all has stairs, period. Yeah, they never give us stairs. Oh. No, those are way too high contrast. I was excited about the dusk brick there, but Number one, yeah, I'm pretty sure that involves Scorchia, and number two, no, it's just too high contrast compared to the deep slate. We'll get some deep slate and some blackstone and mix a little bit of bricks of both of them into the roof. How even do I make blackstone in this pack? Oh, it's literally just haunted cobble. Okay. Yeah, we can do that. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering if I kind of put these a little too close together, the answer would be yes. Yes, I unfortunately did, it turns out. My bad. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm satisfied with this building. Definitely really like how the shingles turn out in general, and I'm happy with the front of it. I added a lot more window to it, and I think that really helps spruce it up a bit more. The one thing this place doesn't have on the exterior yet is any form of lighting. It's just relying on what's coming through the windows at the moment, and what's coming through the windows is, you know, torchlight on the floor. So this place still needs a ceiling and lamps hanging from it and stuff like that. I think I want to get some deep slate slabs of some form and just fill in up there at the top at such a level that, you know, I really do like that you can see the inside of the roof here. I just wish there was something that made it look like it was being held up, you know? What could I do? What could I do? I'm thinking I could do some kind of fence up there and make that look like it's holding up. Yeah, let's try that out. Let's try that out. Well, also clued me into the fact that these lamps, I have to figure out which one of these they can go into, but the lamps can actually, I'm guessing it's the tinker table because that has the lamp sitting on top of it. Yeah, we can do different styles of lanterns, and I'm wondering if one of, ooh, I like the iron lantern a lot. Not the bowl lantern, no, I'm good. Tall lantern, wide lantern, big lantern. I think I really like this one. Okay, so I'm just filling this in the whole way along it. And we're gonna count in the same number on both sides. Or should I put some, ooh, I should put some chains. I should have seen if the chains also had anything cute. I guess I can just go ahead and check the JEI interface. No, I don't see anything cute for chains. Boo. Okay, good. I can still open the chest, so therefore that is finished. That is everything in here. Could definitely do some more detailing in here if I wanted to. I may come back and do so during stream. But for right now, I think that is the dye shop all done. And you know what? Now that I've had a little longer to think about it, I actually like how cramped I made the alleyways here. So I was starting to run these weird, like, central heating pipes around the place. And I'm just thinking that if all of the streets are going to have something like this going through it, or are going to have decorative power lines or whatever, then we might as well make the buildings parkourable and go ahead and have, you know, the ability to run from rooftop to rooftop. I can put like a truck parked over here or something, then a jump from that to the next building. I don't know, I've got a lot of cute ideas of what we could do for the area. Plus, I feel like narrow alleyways just kind of, you know, fits the era too. Might even need to put a pipe or two going through this just to really cramp it up. And yes, I will be getting my bed and stuff out of between here soon. Next though, now that we actually have, you know, the source of the cocoa and the sugar, although again, I was kind of dumb and went straight for the cocoa powder here, the brown dye, when I need cocoa beans for the shop. But point is, we can go ahead and start making our hot cocoa now. Man, I genuinely love being on multiplayer servers. Like, every time I get up, there's some new machinery on the horizon. There we go. So, remember how I made those cute mangrove barrels? Well, it turns out you can make these cute gilded barrels as well. And they, in my opinion, kind of fit in with the brass and stuff that we have in here. They look like that. So I thought they'd make good storage in here. They're not perfect, but they're cute, I think. I wonder if there's any of them that look like a fridge. Barrel, I mean, the metal barrel kind of does. Okay, so I feel like that does work for, like, hang on, can I put it in the corner here and make it be... Yeah, I mean, it's kind of more giving me washer and dryer vibes, if I'm being honest, but I think it works, and then we can go ahead and fill that up. Oh my gosh, should get a couple pieces of ice to put in with it to be silly. But we'll get my inventory filled with buckets of milk and come fill this up. You know, there's like a gazillion cute barrels, but there's of course still only the one ugly crafting table. Also, this is kind of embarrassing to admit now that we've built the whole actual farm for it, but when I originally said I wanted to put a cocoa farm in here so that we could make hot cocoa, this is what I meant. It was literally going to be just that. But, you know, fortunately it is not. So we're going to put our cocoa beans in the fridge here. That should be plenty to last us a while. And I was thinking about the other drinks that are in this pack. So we've got the hot cocoa. There's also apple cider and melon juice. And of course, just, you know, cold milk. Do I still have bottles on me? You know what? I do. Let's make a couple glasses. I can't. I thought maybe I could go ahead and put the milk straight into the bottles that way. Huh. Wonder how I have to do that. Anyway, yeah, we have apple cider, we have melon juice, and we should have a fair amount of both apples and melons available back over in the original town, so I'm gonna go peek over there. Stacy told me I could come steal apples from her tree farm. I'm actually surprised there's not more here, but I guess that just shows you that we don't chop that much oak as a server. She got netherwort, yes. And then we'll also just grab a few stacks of sugar. Okay, so the sugar and the cocoa beans are now in the cupboard. The fruit is in the fridge, the milk is in the fridge. I'm sure we'll come up with other silly things to put in here. I realized we were missing one last thing, which was fuel for our little flamey boy down here, so I'm putting a bunch of slabs up in here. And those should get about a drink each. Man, I really blocked that window seat perfectly, didn't I?
Lyarrah!
JC!
Lyarrah, I'm tired and my brain hurts.
Can I get you a hot cocoa?
Yes, that sounds amazing.
Come on in. Come get some cake and some hot cocoa. Or we have cider if you'd prefer that.
Ooh. I'll have cocoa. I'm going to carry on afterwards, but yeah.
Okay. All right. So I get out the cocoa beans. I get out the sugar. I get out the milk.
Oh, I love your fridge.
Right?
Barrels?
Yes, those are barrels that I put through one of the Tinker Tables things.
Yeah.
I've bought a new one, I think.
Nice.
Yes.
So cool. Ooh, that milk is cold.
Mwahahahahahaha.
Got my goggles now. I can see what you put in there. I love it.
Hang on. I did this wrong. It's producing just liquid chocolate on me. I think I did this wrong, huh?
It's like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory River.
Oh, I have to put the bottles in with it. That's what I did wrong. Well, I guess I'm taking a... Oops. No. I guess I'm taking a bucket of chocolate out of there. Let's try this again, shall we? With reading the recipe this time. Okay. Bucket of milk. And... feed our little dude and let's go.
That's the best noise.
Yes, it's making the hot cocoa now. It is such a good noise.
Yes, I see it. I see it. I see it.
Here is a hot cocoa for you.
Nice.
And because they're drinks, we can drink them anytime. We don't have to be hungry.
Woohoo!
Oh.
Does that give you any effects, that one?
No, the hot cocoa does not give us any effect. Oh, it clears one harmful effect. So it would clear poison or something, so.
Nice.
The cider gives us absorption, though.
What is absorption? I was looking at that. I was trying to figure out what that is.
Like a golden apple, where it gives you the 2 extra hearts worth of, yeah.
Oh, cool.
So it works the same way. But yeah, thank you very much for checking it out. And of course, feel free to have all the cake you would like.
I will. I'm full again. I'm always full when I come here. I have to take some with me. I'll get some. I'll get some from the to-go box.
Feel free, and feel free to come by here and get yourself a drink anytime you'd like.
I will. It's very cozy in here. I love what you've done with the place.
Thank
It
you.
looks beautiful. I have been being very nosy. I've been nosy there. I've been in a few times to come and look at your factory to get ideas and tips.
Aw, well, thank you. And I can't wait to see what you're up to over there once you're done with it.
Oh yes, yeah. You'll be welcome anytime. I'm sure I have lots of food to go around, so you'll be able to just come and get something.
Good,
If you
I'm getting a little sick of
and
cake.
Savory. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something hot and savory. Yeah.
With a little bit more saturation.
Yes.
But yes, I'm afraid I don't have a bed in here, so I can't save you from the rain, though.
That's okay. I'll run it. It'll be fine.
Run for it! Book it! Bye!
Bye!
Ah! Okay, so we know the hot cocoa is working. We have the dye farm finished. There's an Enderman apparently chilling in here with it. I think that is a good spot to call it for today. So thank you everybody so much for hanging out with me. If you had as much fun as I did, make sure you leave a like. If you're new around here, hey, please subscribe. Take care, everybody. Toodles!